What's up, you guys? We are in Arizona. Obviously, we're in Arizona. This is the channel, right? We're in Buckeye today, and I'm going to be telling you some of the cons to living here in Buckeye and why a lot of people don't really like living here. One of them being it is massively huge and there is a ton of farmland, okay? Some of the biggest complaints that I get from people moving here is, Kim, it always smells like cow manure. And for me, I grew up in the West Valley, so I grew up literally right in front of a field like this, and me and my friends used to go out and we used to play in the canals and everything, and that's not really safe now that I know it. I'm an adult now. I should probably not have done that. But that's one biggest thing. That's one of the biggest cons that people have is the smell, and it's just massive farmland. And with farmland, it brings into our number 3 reason why it's so kind of rough living here is when it's not the season to grow, there's a ton of dust, a ton of dust. And I mean dust, like it's gonna create huge haboobs and you're gonna have clouds and walls of dust flying in over the city literally every monsoon season. So that is something to watch out for when you are living here in the city of Buckeye. Arizona used to be a huge farming community, especially the city of Buckeye. I mean, look at this. We still have tons of farmland today, and there are families here that have been here for generations, generational families that have farms and ranches out here in Buckeye, and cow ranches and horse ranches and cow ranches, cattle ranches. It's just something that is just inevitable. And if you don't like that, then the city of Buckeye is maybe something that you want to avoid when thinking about moving here to the state of Arizona. So one thing that really captures people's attention out here is our speed limits. Our speed limit here on Verrado Way is 50 miles per hour. And we do have residential areas around here and 2 schools actually. So 50 miles per hour. I think a lot of people moving from back east are like, that is really high for a speed limit in the city. Speaking of some of the family generations that have lived here and called Buckeye, Arizona their home for generations and generations, it's a lot of them take a lot of pride in their land and their homes and the communities that they have built out here. I've heard horror stories from a lot of people, and granted, you guys, this is everywhere, so this isn't necessarily a con or a pro, but it's just something to be aware of. It's a lot of the families that have lived here for decades have a problem with a lot of new people coming in and tearing up their land and not respecting it. So if you guys aren't looking to move here and respect the community in which you live and the outskirts and land like this literally, you know, supplies a lot of food for the Arizona economy and other places in the US. So keep in mind, you guys, that this is something that we take a lot of pride in as Arizona residents. Don't mess with our local farmhands. Don't mess with their land. Don't mess with their crops. If you see a cornfield because you've never seen a cornfield before because you're moving from Los Angeles County, don't walk through it. Respect it, be mindful, and just have some pride in the community out here. That's just all I have to say, because I have heard a ton of horror stories, and honestly, it's getting to the point where it's getting really, really sad. Now, one of the things about Buckeye is most of the lanes out here, whatever direction you're going out here, when you're not on a freeway, it is a 1-lane road. So you are going to experience a lot of stop signs. If you're on the south of the I-10, a lot of stop signs, a lot of traffic. We are literally bumper to bumper. Check this out. Now this bumper to bumper traffic isn't so bad unless you are trying to get back home from working past the 303 and down into the center of Phoenix Metro, I guess. But it's worth it. You get to go out there, you get to work in the crazy city busy life, and then you get to come out here to Buckeye or Goodyear or the West Valley, and you get to like breathe, let it go, because it is so relaxing out here.
Hey, that's pretty good.
And you guys, this is one thing to keep in mind. When you're living in Buckeye, if you're choosing to move to Buckeye, Buckeye is huge, okay? You could be closer to the city, or you can be about 30 more minutes away from the city. It depends on what area you're wanting and the type of lifestyle that you're wanting to live when you're moving out here to the city of Buckeye. I can tell you guys right now that a lot of families from California and Seattle and Portland are all choosing to move here to Buckeye because it is quieter. There's not as much city. There's way less traffic out here in the city of Buckeye. And on top of that, if you live in California, California or your family's over here on the West Coast, guess what? You can hop on that I-10 and go directly west and hit the state of California. You can hit Nevada, you can hit Oregon, all in a heartbeat. So you can get there really, really quickly, and that's one of the big pros to a lot of people moving here. Speaking of moving here, we're gonna talk about the Buckeye home prices, all right? Buckeye home prices are some of the lowest in the valley, and that's because Buckeye is on the outskirts of the valley, okay? By the valley, I mean the city of Phoenix. So actually, it's about 47 minutes from downtown Phoenix. So that's one reason why a lot of people have a hard time living out in Buckeye, because it is so far from the rest of the valley. It's such a far distance, and that's not including the traffic, you guys. So if you are going downtown, or if you're going to Scottsdale, or you work anywhere past the 303 and the I-10 right now, you guys are going to be seeing a lot more traffic. But if you're going to live in Tartesso, or you're going to be living in North Buckeye and Sun City Festival, or you're wanting to live on the outskirts in a field like where I'm literally sitting at right now, it's going to take you a little while. So keep that in mind, you guys. All right, now speaking of living in Buckeye and just all of the cons, one of the biggest cons that I have heard from a lot of people moving here is there isn't as much job opportunities out here in Buckeye as of yet. A lot of people are living in Buckeye and they go to work in Goodyear or Surprise or Waddell. Now that's one of the good things, right? So you do have a lot of surrounding areas and locations that have endless amounts of job opportunities, but right now Buckeye is kind of lacking on that. They will, however, have a lot of jobs coming soon, a lot of warehouses, and there's going to be a lot of commercial businesses coming out here to the city of Buckeye, especially closer to Verrado and the Tartesso areas very, very soon. So you will be seeing a lot more job opportunity and economic growth in the future, which is great because we really are going to need it out here, especially with there only being one freeway connecting to the central of the valley. To central of the valley? To the center. To the central, oh my goodness gracious. To the center of the valley, you guys. The center of the valley. So when you guys move out here, you have to keep in mind and know that there's gonna be a lot of development here. Look, I am literally standing in the middle of a field, okay? Crazy. There is so much development still coming here to Buckeye. So if you're moving out here, you don't want to deal with traffic, you don't want to deal with bumper to bumper traffic, you don't want to deal with construction, Buckeye may not be the place for you. But one of the pros about living in Buckeye is you get to go down to the city, work in Glendale, work in Phoenix, work in Scottsdale. You're gonna come back to Buckeye and it's quiet, it's cozy, it's relaxing. There's not a lot of craziness going on out here, at least not yet. So as your realtor, hi, you can give me a call and send me a text, send me an email. I am here to help serve and support you guys at the highest possible level. I am an Arizona licensed realtor here in the state of Arizona, helping people move here every single day. Most of Buckeye is farm fields. It is dirt lots. It is brand new communities. You need to be prepped for the lack of commercial businesses, lack of entertainment, and just lack of things to do here in the Buckeye community. We are on the outskirts of Phoenix Metro. So because of that, we are still growing. And that's what I said before. So know that you're not gonna get a movie theater out here right now. As of 2023, we don't really have a movie theater. We don't have a Main Event or a Dave & Buster's or a Chuck E. Cheese's for you to take the kids to. We don't have a lot of commercial stores either. We don't have chain restaurants out here. We don't have a lot of this stuff. We have a little bit, all right? You guys can see here through the B-roll a little, but we do not have a lot. So we have a Lowe's, we have a Walmart, we have a few other things. We have a little bit of a gas stations out here, but we don't have a ton. So keep that in mind. If you guys are looking to move here, know that things to do, you're gonna have to go to Goodyear. You're gonna have to go to Scottsdale. You're gonna have to go to downtown Phoenix to be able to go out and actually enjoy, you know, going out to eat and going to bars and going to shows and stuff. You're not gonna get that here in Buckeye. Not a lot, unfortunately. So we have a ton of ranches out here, and the wind out here in Buckeye, you guys, the Phoenix Metro is in a valley. So the wind we're pretty windy here in Arizona. Not a lot of people, you know, realize that until they move out here or until they come and visit. But here in Buckeye, you are going to get a little bit of farm smell. And that's normal. I grew up around farms, I'm used to it, but if you're moving from someplace like New Jersey or New York or some places in California, maybe Chicago, this is probably not gonna be something that you're used to. You're probably gonna be like, oh my gosh, this is the most disgusting thing on the planet. I don't wanna live here. So if that's something that you're not about, don't move to Buckeye. This is probably not the best place for you, but I can tell you right now that if you are looking to move on the outskirts of the Phoenix metro, like Peoria, Buckeye, Goodyear, Santan Valley, North Phoenix, Queen Creek, you're probably going to get a little bit of the smell every once in a while. So going to downtown Phoenix, you guys, keep in mind, Buckeye is ginormous. It is the second largest city right underneath Phoenix. It is huge. Your drive time to other areas is going to be very, very different. So if you are on the east part of Buckeye, closer to Goodyear and the 303, you can see right here on the map, it's going to take you about 30 to 45 minutes to get to downtown Phoenix and about 45 minutes to get to Scottsdale. If you are over here on the east part of Buckeye and Tartesso, you are going to be looking at about 45 minutes to an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes to get to downtown. On top of, now keep in mind, those of you who live in Buckeye, don't at me right now, okay? Do not come yelling at me in the comment section because you drive to a certain area. I'm talking about with traffic, okay? So if you guys are going from Tartesso to downtown Phoenix with traffic, it's gonna take you quite some time. If you're looking to go to, now downtown, I'm also talking about SKYHARBOR Airport, okay? So it's gonna take you a while to get to that airport, which is the closest public airport here in the Valley. Except if you're all the way on the East Valley, you have Mesa Gateway, but why would you wanna go there? Because that's just an extra 45 minutes away. Going to Scottsdale, you guys are going to be looking at an hour drive time if you live in Tartesso. If you live over here in Sun City Festival, you guys are going to be looking at 45 minutes to get to Scottsdale because you are a little bit closer to Surprise, but it's going to take you about 45 minutes to an hour to get to SKYHARBOR Airport or get to Scottsdale because it is going to take you about 20 minutes to get to the closest freeway. So keep that in mind, you guys. Do not underestimate the drive time. So keep that in mind when you're moving out here. If you have to work in downtown Phoenix and you don't want that drive time, maybe Buckeye is not the best place for you. As far as home prices out here, there are homes being built right now where you can get homes at $350,000 all the way up into the millions, you guys. There is a lot of opportunity for a home buyer to be able to purchase a great home for the family out here, as well as the schools. The schools are pretty great. I have a lot of friends who their kids go to school out here in the Verrado community and in the Estrella Mountain Ranch High School out here, which is part of the Buckeye School District. It is a great area, you guys. Again, like I said, there's a lot of things that are cons about living in Buckeye, but there are still a lot of pros about living in Buckeye as well. So if you guys are looking to move here, comment below MOVING moving, and I will comment back to you with my home buyer's guide on exactly what the home buying process is like here in the state of Arizona. And if you are looking to purchase a home here in Buckeye, Arizona, or anywhere in the Valley of that matter, because I work all over, you can give me a call, send me a text, send me an email. I'm here to help serve and support you at the highest possible level.